Good day, learners. Welcome to Mathematical Literacy, Grade 11. I am Miss Nino Vermeulen, and today we will be chatting about Paper 2, your exam guide. Now, what we will be looking at today, first of all, will be your mark allocation and duration, then the different topics and marks. After that, we'll go to the overall structure, the taxonomy levels, and very important, your action verbs. Then we'll go into the types of questions, familiar context, and then we will end off with general tips. If we look at the general info of Paper 2, the following will be discussed: your mark allocation and duration, topics and marks, overall structure, taxonomy, and the action verbs. Now, the general information about Paper 2. It is 100 marks for 2 hours. Then your topics will be measurement for more or less 55 marks, then maps and scale, 40 marks, and then the rest, the other 5 marks, will go to probability. Remember, this is just plus minus. It can vary according to the examiner. Now, the overall structure of Paper 2 will be as follows. Question 1 is mixed questions, where it's only level 1 questions. Now, remember, level 1 questions is general knowledge and easy answers, easy calculations. Sorry for that. Then, question 2 will be maps and scale, and then this question will be dedicated to maps and scale. Question 3 is going to be measurement, and then we go to question 4, sometimes question 5, that will be integrated topics, meaning maps, scale, measurement, and probability, and then the difference between question 4 and 5 and question 1 is now it will have levels 1 to 4. In general, we need to remember that probability will be assessed in one or more of the questions. And then one question can cover more than one topic, and that is, in general, what we need to know. If we look at the taxonomy levels, when we speak about a level 1 question, it is knowing anything that you need to read from the table or define, or, as I said, a simple calculation. Then level 2 will be applying routine procedures in familiar contexts. That will be like your conversions and stuff like that. And then when we go to level 3, it will be multi-step questions. So you will need to do more than one calculation to get to your answer. And then the nice ones, level 4, that is where you get to reason and reflect on what you've done. If we look at the action verbs, if you see the word analyze, that means to separate, examine, and interpret. If they ask you to calculate, you need to give your answer as a numerical answer, and then remember always to show all calculations, especially for the follow-up marks. When you see classify, classify means group things based on common characteristics. Compare is where you need to point out or show similarities or differences between two things, 2 or more things in grade 11. And then easy marks, where they say define, you must give a clear meaning. Remember, it's not necessary to learn the definition of by heart. You can write it in your own words. Then, when we get to describe, that is where you need to state in words the main things or concepts. Remember, describe means states and words. Then determine. Now when you determine, you calculate something. So then you need to discover your answer by examining the evidence. But describe is in words, determine is calculations. Then the next one, discuss. When you discuss something, you consider all information and reach a conclusion. The conclusion is very important when you discuss because that is one of the things that learners forget to do. Differentiate is where you are going to point out the differences in the categories. And then when you get to explain, you need to make a clear, interpret, and spell out answer. So that is where, in your own words, you make it clear what is happening. Then the last few, identify. Now, identify will be your reading from the table marks, level 1. Name the essential characteristics, but pay special attention to what you need to identify. Then, when we need to list, you need to write a list of items with no additional detail. Please remember that when you list, you only write what is asked. Don't write paragraphs. Then, when you need to label, you need to identify the descriptions on a diagram or a drawing or a graph. And then lastly, if they ask you to mention, you need to refer to relevant points in the question or in the scenario to answer your question. Now, with that being said, let's quickly take a break. I'll see you just now.